What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's your girl, Zsa Zsa, and we are live tuning in. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? We are tuning in live. It's your girl, Zsa Zsa. You are tuning in to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, it is Veterans Day. Thank you to all of those who made the ultimate sacrifice to put their lives on the line to protect us. But you know, one of the things that I've learned when it comes to making that ultimate sacrifice to put your life on the line for somebody else is real deep. And most of us don't even have to be a part of the military to make those ultimate sacrifices. Women make those ultimate sacrifices every day when they have a child. Men make those ultimate sacrifices by protecting their families every day, especially if you're a Black man in America. The ultimate sacrifice to allowing yourself to be destroyed, killed, murdered, put in an uncompromising position that may cause you harm is an ultimate sacrifice. And see, a lot of us don't sacrifice anything. There are parents who sacrifice their time, their effort to put their children in better positions. There are people who sacrifice their lives and their health in order to bring children forth. And today we celebrate those individuals who not only sacrifice their lives for a country who doesn't even see some of us as 100% human beings or 100% citizens of this country. But I want to commend those individuals who decided to create and make the ultimate sacrifice. Because I'm going to tell you something. My son comes home next week from college, and we've never been apart in his 18 years of living this far apart, you know? And like most families who were praying and hoping that their loved ones would come home after battle, there were families who prayed for their loved ones to show up for the holidays when they could not. And I think about those young men and those young women who made those ultimate sacrifices for their families and for their children. And they may have become incarcerated or locked up because they put their lives on the line to provide. And most people who go into the military or go into a certain situation, sometimes they know the circumstance or the ramifications of them being a part of a particular organization or a particular group. And I'm going to tell you something about our GOV. Our GOV don't give a DAME about YOU. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because I'm going to tell you something about this country. This country, it has been built on sacrificing others, opposed to sacrificing their European selves. African Americans have had to have the ultimate sacrifice of having men snatched from their families and put into war. There are men and women who went off not knowing anything about what they were getting themselves into because of the selfishness of this country, putting us in egotistical and prideful situations where we have to go and murder and kill other individuals from other countries. I had, when I graduated from Mackenzie High School, I had a few of my colleagues and classmates go off to the military. And one guy in particular, it was a big old thing last year when I got COVID, but nevertheless, because he couldn't believe in miracles. And I had been praying and I had been fasting before I had even got COVID. And I'm going somewhere. Just stay with me. This young man that I graduated from high school with, we call ourselves trying to date in our early 20s, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know how you rekindle with people you done went to high school with and y'all was feeling each other, but something happened or you got hooked up or whatever. So y'all know my story. I ended up getting pregnant my senior year in high school. So me and him never really hooked up. We had always liked each other since 9th grade and we never hooked up. But anyway, he ended up going into the military and having these psychotic episodes where he would call me, or the bartender would call me, or a random stranger would call me and say, hey, we're getting ready to arrest this guy, or, he just beat some people up at the bar, or, something is going on. And for me, we sacrifice so much when sometimes we don't get back what we have sacrificed. And what I remember about this young man while we were in school is that he has such a calming and sweet spirit. And there are circumstances and situations that will cause you to change who you are based on the circumstance around you. And see, the ultimate sacrifice causes you to feel some type of way when you have given your all to a particular thing or a particular person or a particular organization, and you don't get that same type of love and support back. See, I have a problem when this young man is having these psychotic episodes and he had nowhere to go and nobody to turn to. We send these amazing individuals off with such bright futures, only to come back and have to deal with suicidal thoughts, post-traumatic stress. And although today they may get some free pancakes, they may get a discount off, they may get to have a parade. But what about every time you see these older men and older women going into the liquor store? They didn't start becoming alcoholics. They didn't say, oh, I want to be a crackhead. Oh, they didn't say, oh, I want to deal with these post-traumatic problems and changes and thought processes that I have. See, this is where I have a problem. When you have people who sacrifice for you, for this country, for your family, for the organization, and you have the mitigated audacity to act as if they didn't do nothing. See, I have a problem when you put on programs and you say that this is for the kids, or this is for the people, or this is for the this, but yet you steal from these people. You don't provide them with the necessary support and help that they need in order to maintain a decent life. Any person who is a part of the military, especially if they were African American, they should automatically get a house. The end. You should automatically have a car waiting and ready for you. Ain't no pay, no note. Why I gotta pay a note when I just almost got my arm blew off? Why should I have to pay a note when I'm over here and my family's over there? See, my friend who was having these problems and these challenges and these thought processes, when it came to what he was dealing with, it all stemmed from the fact that he had to go to another country, be trained for combat in another state, to fight for a country that don't even recognize him as a human being. So when we come to days like this, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Veterans Day, and we think about the lives of the people who have made the ultimate sacrifice. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, it's your girl, Zsa Zsa, and we're talking all about the ultimate sacrifice. Listen, it's Thankful Thursdays. We ain't in nobody's jail. We got the activities of our limbs, and we ain't in nobody's hospital, because guess what? They put a lot of our veterans away in prison, in jail, in the hospital. They're not getting none of the support that they need. I know that my grandfather, he's a veteran, and he was going to lose his life last year if it wasn't for my grandmother, and it burns my soul. It burns my soul at the ultimate sacrifices that people make to help other people. And while my grandfather did fight in the war, my grandmother also was fighting in another war. Because what we don't understand is that just because one person is going through does not mean it does not affect everything around them. My grandmother had to deal with the drunken nights of my grandfather because he was having the episodes of what was happening to him in other countries. And like so many other women and so many other children were taking the relationship that they could have had with their loved ones was limited. due to time, limited due to the sacrifices that they had to make in other countries. And see, what I've learned when it comes to making certain sacrifices for your family, as a woman, as a man, as a business owner, as a leader, and when you get in certain positions, you have to understand that your life can ultimately change. See, people who have certain levels of commitment, they don't realize that that level of commitment affects everyone. This is one of the reasons why I decided to step out on my faith and step out on everything that I had to become an entrepreneur, because I'm not sacrificing being at this job all day, and I have a son that I have to teach, encourage, learn, get to know, build. And if I'm at this job from 8 a.m. until 4:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock, sometimes 7 o'clock at night, and I'm missing parent-teacher conference, I'm missing my son being in band, I got to find other people to go in my steady, in my place, because as a parent, you have an ultimate sacrifice. Do I provide for my child, or do I go to work and make ends meet? And it's the same thing with those individuals who chose or did not have a choice, okay? Who chose and also did not have a choice to go and fight and sacrifice their lives for this country. Where I have an issue is when people choose to not respect and value the people who make the ultimate sacrifices for you. When you have women in your life who make the ultimate sacrifices for you daily, and you don't respect it, and you don't value it, and you don't protect it. When we have a community of young people who need support, they need education, they need mentorship, they need funding, they need all type of things, but we watch the need, but we won't make the ultimate sacrifice to feel the need. There were times that I mentored these young ladies, and I thank God, because while they were in training, because that's all mentorship is. Mentorship is nothing but you are being trained by someone who has already been through the fire, the furnace, the trials, the tribulations, and you are being taught which way not to go. It's almost like you are on combat and you are training your mentees for war, life. You are training young people for what's going to happen outside that door. Because I would teach my son, no matter what happened in life, no matter who you saw to the left or to the right of you, sometimes those people who you start out with ain't going to be the people who you finish with. There are some people that when I joined the Navy Reserves, because I was part of the Navy Reserves in my early 20s, because I was going to go to the Navy. And, you know, I had just dropped out of college. I didn't really know, you know, because I'm young. I'm still young, but I was younger. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do after I had left from Bowling Green. I was so confused. I was dealing with postpartum depression after having a baby, dealing with depression because now my life is ultimately changing, dealing with the fact that I have to focus on papers and do work, and it was just a lot. Then I found out about this joker and my friend, or the young lady I thought was my friend, but she wasn't my friend. She was just an understudy trying to be like me. That's why you got to be careful and mindful who you have in your circle, who you have in your personal space. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your homegirl. And see, a lot of us, we sacrifice for our friends. We provide for our friends. And sometimes what we give out is not always what we give back. That's why you have to be mindful of the sacrifices that you make for the relationships that you are a part of. See, there are no relationships in my life right now that I am going to allow to use me, dog me, talk about me. Listen, me and you ain't cool, then stay over there on that side of the street. I don't want to be around no lukewarm people. I had to get rid of some of those people. You can't call yourself my friend and go hang out and kick it with my enemies, because at the end of the day, I'm going to come up, regardless if you want me to or not. Because see, when you are doing what God has called you to do, your enemies are always going to have something to say about what you're doing. This is why God says, I'm going to use your enemies as your footstool. See, what your enemies don't realize, and this is one of the reasons why I look at certain people and say, oh, you want to be my enemy? You seen what God is doing in my life, right? You saw everything that I've been through, right? And I still am coming out on top. So you really want to be my enemy? This is why you got to be mindful of what God is doing in your life. And there were things that I have been dealing with in these last few months. And, you know, life can bring you down. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Zsa Zsa, y'all already know. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa because you do. Listen, I have a new venue spaces that I have. I have one downtown in Detroit, one on West McNichols, and one on the east side of Detroit on Harper. If you are looking to book you a holiday event, a pop-up shop, if you're looking to do some really amazing things within the community, hey, if you want to book all three venues and say, Zsa Zsa, I want to take it from the west side downtown to the east. Listen, we have some amazing holiday deals for you. And listen, if you are not getting a haul, maybe you want to refer it to somebody else. We do have some referrals and some referral fees that we are paying out to individuals who say, you know what, Zsa, I may not need a haul, but I know somebody who do, and I'm going to get them your information. And if they book from your referral, guess what? You get an amazing fee you get a referral fee just for referencing someone for the booking for the hotel. But if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking about the ultimate sacrifice. Because as I think about my son coming home next week, I think about all the other young men and young women who went off to go somewhere and they didn't come back home. I think about all of the men and women who left to go and fight for a country and they did not come back home. The devastation that families have to deal with when they go to support something that they know may not be their best benefactor. But because they feel like they're doing it for a common good, it makes them feel okay about what they're doing. And see, when I think about my son coming home next week, I think about so many families who anticipated their loved ones to come back home and they didn't. See, this is where we have to make sure that we are covering our families. We are teaching them the truth about what is happening within our country. Half of the problems that we have with other countries ain't even because of them. It's because of us. Most of the battles and wars that we have had to fight within this country were not based upon the issues that we or that they had with us. It was issues that we created, that we went and stole, that we went and did some stuff that we didn't have no business because we're trying to control somebody else. And see, this is when I think about our country and the relationship that our countries have with other countries. I think about bad marriages. I think about when a man wants a woman to submit. I've been marrying couples for over a decade. And every time that word comes up, you get people who either roll their eyes or want to clap. And I'm going to tell you something, as a woman who has been married and as a woman who has married thousands of couples, whether they were heterosexual, homosexual, or bisexual, at the end of the day, submission comes from people who feel comfortable enough to submit. And submission is not just about a marriage. It's about a relationship. When your friend come over your house and they say, man, can you pour me a glass of water? You don't say, go get it yourself, unless they've been at your house a few times and you like, mi casa es su casa. But if you have a guest that comes to your house, you submit yourself and you say, let me get them a glass of water. And it's the same thing when it comes to the military. A lot of our veterans They submitted to the thought of, I am doing something good and sacrificing for my family. I'm sacrificing for this country. I'm sacrificing for something that I think that I should be believing in. And like I said, America is like a bad marriage with some of these other countries because we want other countries to submit to us, but we're not willing to submit or sacrifice the relationship with other countries because we want to be the big bad, the badass that wants to go and tell everybody what to do. And see, when I marry couples and I see women and men that submit to their spouses and in their relationships, when I see families that submit to one another, you know why? Because true leadership, when a person has true leadership, it don't take much for you to want to submit to somebody. When a man is taking care of a woman, and if you're tuning in, you're listening to I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking about the ultimate sacrifice. When a man has sacrificed and shown how much he cares for a woman, she should have no problem. This is what Zsa Zsa said. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I've been doing this for over 10 years. When a man or a woman loves their partner, it is easy for them to want to submit because you have been sacrificing for the relationship. This is why people feel used and manipulated, because when I am in a relationship with you, whether it's platonic, whether it's in business, whether it's we are building something, I should want to be able to trust you enough to know that you're not going to do nothing to hurt me, that you're not going to put me in an uncompromising position. But we do this to our military all the time. We put our militaries in uncompromising positions. We allow people to be in leadership who do not care about the people, but they care about the profits. This is why people get hurt when it comes to church hurt. This is why people get hurt when it comes to certain jobs. This is why people get hurt when it comes to certain relationships. Because if a person feels like they can use you, they will. And see, unfortunately, we have allowed our GOV, because you know you got to use certain lingo because you got all type of voice recognition, face recognition, guidelines in terms of what is good to say and what verbiage is not good to say. So you know I talking code, okay? I'm trying to tell you, I should have been part of the Underground Railroad because I got my own lingo. But our GOV has put this country in so many uncompromising positions where we have sacrificed the lives of millions over the pettiest, simplest, stupidest, most ignorantest things, stemming back from centuries ago. They have nothing to do with our present moment. Right now, we are beefed out in countries because of idiot leaders like the one we just had that's going to be, he's going to come back to run. And see, this is why we have to understand what it means to sacrifice. When a person is sacrificing something, they are creating a unified mission. And see, some of you all, you'll get united to talk shit. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Excuse the lingo, but sugar, honey, iced tea. Y'all will get together to talk about one another, but you won't get united together and make it your mission. You know what? Let's make it our mission to support the people that we know so that we can get our kids in a better position. Because some of you are so selfish, you don't sacrifice nothing for nobody. And then when it's your turn, you want everybody to make an ultimate sacrifice for you. This is why when people's birthdays come around and they say, yeah, y'all all better be in my party because I done been at all y'all parties and I didn't came to all y'all stuff. This is why being a veteran, being a mother, being a father, being a teacher, these are ultimate sacrifices that people put their lives on the line for every day. And we don't think, oh, this person may not come back. All it takes is one hit in the head. All it takes is one slip and fall. All it takes is one. Listen, I'm sure the people on the movie set did not anticipate that woman or that man to be injured or die. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it changed the trajectory of Hollywood and how they dealt with guns. It's the same way within our country. They're not willing to make the sacrifice of making those necessary changes unless it's to benefit the masses. And the masses is the people with the money. It ain't you. We the majority, but we not the masses with the money. See, there are groups of individuals who make certain moves within our city, within our state, within our country, and within this world. And if you are not paying attention and making a game plan, a blueprint, a journey that you need to make for you and your family, you will be sacrificed. The Bible says it. They are like sheep being slaughtered daily. So if a sheep is slaughtered, that means it's sacrificed. Because the ultimate sheep, which was Jesus, the ultimate lamb, did the ultimate sacrifice by putting his life on the line for us, for our sins. And whether you want to believe it, whether that's your religion, whether that's your spirituality, whatever it is, whatever you believe in, at the end of the day, there was a sacrifice. Whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in the tree, there was a sacrifice there. And see, a lot of us don't understand the sacrifices that people have made within their families. I had this conversation with my brother the other day. And I said, you don't even understand the sacrifices that I made those 12 years that you were incarcerated. I had to get on 94 and 75 and 96 and drive on the highways and get almost ran over by these racist ass white folks and look in the trees while I see ropes and new whatever what they call the ropes that go around the necks and keep out niggers and no niggers allowed. Because guess what? If you travel enough and you on these roads enough, you will see these type of signs. And see, what you all don't understand is that there is a united mission. And if you are not careful, you will get caught up in their mission and not your own mission. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. I'm talking about the ultimate sacrifice. Because ultimately, we've all been trained. Some of us work for the army of the Lord. Some of us are part of some other gangbangs. Some of us are part of other cliques and crews, because that's all it is. That's all it is. These are legalized gangs that wear colors, that are trained to kill, that have their own lingo, their own type of blueprint. And see, this is one of the reasons why they wanted to make sure that we were sacrificed. Because the Black Panther Party could have been a party within itself. Forget Republican and Democrat. They had a party for our people. But they kept allowing us to be distracted. Here go crack. Here go guns. Here go HIV. Here go AIDS. Here go homosexuality. Here go this. Here go that. So now you can't take the focus on the united mission. Oh, because the Ku Klux Klan is going strong, baby. They ain't missing a beat. They ain't missing no meetings. They ain't missing not one single soul. And y'all can't even come and support a pop-up shop up the street. I know it's COVID, but you go where you want to go. You make the sacrifice to what you want to make. And as far as I'm concerned, we all gonna die. It's just a matter of when. So if it's just a matter of when, why not live your life as if every day you're living the ultimate sacrifice? Yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to wash your hands. Yeah, you got to wear a mask. But as you can see, even getting the shot ain't going to prevent you from getting it. So at the end of the day, let's make sure we are pushing the mission of protecting our people. Let me tell you something. You can find me at any given day, and I'm going to be talking about the same thing. At the end of the day, we got to make sure our people are covered and protected, because their missions for what they believe in, They literally just met up, few white folks, group of them, thousands of them, because they said that the JFK spirit was coming back. Do y'all hear? So when there is a mission and people believe in it enough, they will support that mission. Why do we got to jump through hoops, dance and bojangle for you to support the people who look like you? Especially the people that are doing good. See, we'll sit around and crack jokes with the schemers, the scammers, the plotters, the this, the that, and the third, the ones we know ain't doing right. But then we'll sit up here and dog the ones that are doing right, the ones who made the ultimate sacrifices, the ones that are getting up, the ones that are single mothers and trying to make ends meet, the ones that are single fathers and trying to start their businesses. See, we get too jealous and we get too prideful because we have allowed certain things to distract our communities. And we end up not getting nothing done. This is why you have certain people who get in certain positions and they get all they can get and they get the F on. They don't help nobody else. They ain't put nobody else on. Think about it. And it's the same thing with our veterans. You allowed these people to sign up to get trained to fight for a country that you won't help them maintain for their own livelihood. And I tell people all of the time, get whatever you can get out of that program because they're going to get everything that they can get out of you. And it's going to be more. You're going to sacrifice more than their stipend, than their support teams. You are going to end up sacrificing more. And this is one of the reasons why united we stand, divided we keep falling. See, my first lady, her birthday coming up. Shout out to First Lady Karen Clark Sheard. One of her mottos for the women's ministry at my church is united we stand and division is not an option. And I know that a part of our United States government is we say that united we stand, divided we fall. But I say united we stand and divided we're going to keep falling. Because, you know, Jay-Z said it best, nobody wins when the family feuds. They don't. They don't win when the family feuds. And if you ever notice, no matter what has happened, no matter what has transpired, white people gonna have their families. Koreans gonna have their families. The Africans, they gonna have their families. I don't care how it look, what it look like. They're gonna be married because they understand that marriage is the foundation of all families. They're going to have children and they're going to have a business. But what do we have? I'll wait. Because they understand the mission behind families. Right now, the black family is in a war. The black family is in a battle. We're already dwindling down in numbers. We're already under attack and they have not even did a hate crime bill to protect us. That should tell you that right there. They did an Asian bill, an Asian crime bill before they did a protect black people bill. They did a protect Asian bill. And if that don't tell you something, that should ultimately tell you something right there. United we stand and division will keep us falling and keep us failing. I ain't got to be your homeboy or your homegirl for us to make this market work. I ain't got to be your BFF in order for us to make these millions. See, this is why we can't move forward because we're focused on the wrong things. We don't get our paperwork right before we want to make our building look beautiful. I've run into so many of my clients and so many of my guests on the show who don't have the main things that they need in order to operate a successful entity, enterprise, business, marriage, partnership. You know why? Because they did not go into this with a mission. When I had my son, I knew I was making the ultimate sacrifice, not just for my body, because women have two options when it comes to pregnancy. You can lose your life, you can lose your baby's life, or both of y'all can get out of here. So when we're talking about certain sacrifices and commending people who lead in our families, we have to be mindful of what people put on the line in order for you to be here. Your mama sacrificed her life in order for you to be here. Regardless if she was a good mama, a bad mama, an in-between mama, there was a sacrifice there. The people who sacrificed their lives for this country, regardless if they knew they were doing it for the country or if they were doing it for funding or if they were doing it for a cause or a mission, there was a sacrifice there. And instead, when we see our older generation, we look at them and think, oh, they're a crackhead or they're alcoholic or they're this or they're a bum or they're that, not knowing that these are some of the people who sacrificed and protected our country so that we can be able to ultimately do the things that we're doing. There was some sacrifice there. And this is one of the reasons why I go so hard, not only for me, but for my son, because I'd be damned if prison get my son or if these other groups get him. I'm going to make sure his hands stay so busy that he don't have no opportunity. Because let me tell you something. Some of our little boys and our little girls lost their lives because they wanted to sacrifice and look and show off for their friends and their families. Oh, I'm going to sacrifice my life by doing the cinnamon challenge. Oh, I'm going to sacrifice my freedom and my relationship with my teacher by slapping a teacher because they're coming up with all these challenges. But they're not even prepared. And see, this is one of the reasons why I love the way God orchestrates our steps when we don't realize God is orchestrating our steps. We don't understand when God is protecting us. We may be thinking, oh man, this person on some funny stuff or this person on some weird tip or this person trying to play me. But ultimately, one of the things that I had a conversation with God about the other day, and I said, you know what, God, this person just tried to play me. And what the devil meant for evil, God will always work it out for my good. And every time an enemy has came up against me to try to do something to me, and I thought I was losing out, God shows me why this particular situation had to happen. This is why when families are united, you can push and move a mission easily than when it's just one person. When everybody's saying the same thing, doing the same thing, and moving the same way, it's easier to get your family out of debt. It's easier for you to have healthy family members. It's easier for you to have peace within relationships. You know why? Because everybody is making the ultimate sacrifice. You know what? Let me shut up. Let me understand where this other person is coming from. Let me get a better perspective of what this situation is. This is why sometimes single mothers or single parents, they don't have no respect for the other parent. I don't have no respect for Tayshawn dad, not because I don't want to, but because you didn't respect the ultimate sacrifices that I was making as a mother. There were days I was tired, having to deal with the loss of my mother, the loss of my father, going through a divorce, having to deal with my ex-husband marrying another woman at the church, still got to go to the church. These were so many ultimate sacrifices that were going on in our heads. And as an entrepreneur, still having to build my business and provide for my child. See, some people don't understand the sacrifices that we make to keep our families and our things afloat. This is why we have to be united. See, the military, they gonna make sure that you understand the mission. When you get here, you fighting for this, and that's it. Anything else that you own, or we gonna show what we do to people who got their own private agenda. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. I'm talking all about the ultimate sacrifice. Because at the end of the day, they drill in your mind Every day, all day. These are the principles. This is what we're fighting for. This is what we're doing. This is the ultimate goal. This is the sacrifice that you're building it for. Why we don't have that same tenacity and commitment and dedication to our families? Somebody got to go to the hospital. Somebody got to die in order for us to care about people that you should already care for. You should not want to see your sister hurting. You should want to build your sister up. You shouldn't want to see your brother down. You should want to see your brother built up, especially if you know that you can. Some of you know that you can help other people, but you're so selfish, so ignorant, and so arrogant and so prideful. You choose to help who you want to help. See, this is one of the reasons why it is important for us to pay attention to our communities. We don't have a city of high crime for no reason. I don't know one criminal that said, you know what, I want to be the ultimate criminal. I mean, I want to be the biggest, like, I want to make sure that I'm a criminal. Most people who do criminal activities, whether it's gangbang, drugs, whatever the case may be, it is because A, they did not feel they had a lucrative opportunity. Why would I go work for Wendy's, McDonald's, or this particular company and make this amount of money, but if I do this, I know that I'm going to make this amount of money? This is one of the reasons why they push you to be a part of certain organizations, because they know there are no opportunities. Why is it that they push our children to be a part of certain organizations when there should be more opportunities? Why is it that they want you to be a part of this particular Why do they push that in school? Why don't they push entrepreneurship when these kids are graduating? Why aren't they pushing the ultimate leadership and corporate opportunities? No, you know what they push? That organization. Because guess what? The same people who create the problem are the same people who are sitting with the solution right in their hand. The same people and companies that are causing the diseases and the issues and the mishaps and the confusion within our communities are the same people who are holding the solution in their hands. But what you don't realize is that you hold the solution in your hands because you are the ultimate sacrifice. There are some things and some crimes that happen within our city that will happen in a majority white city, but we won't get the same time. Why is that? There are things that our Black men and women cannot get away with in the military that white people get away with all the time. There is certain help that white folks will get that they will pass Black people up. Think about it. Have you ever been to the veteran hospital? Have you ever been to a veteran facility? It should be plushed out. Anytime a veteran say they need help, anytime a veteran needs something to eat, anytime a veteran needs some clothes, it shouldn't even be a problem. It should not be a problem when you have people who are in place to sacrifice. When you have people who have sacrificed for you, it shouldn't be a problem for you to sacrifice for them. But see, we have amnesia. We act like we forgot. You know, I was sitting here and I was thinking about my mom and both my grandmothers as we approach the holiday season. And there have been some people who have been murdered, killed, destroyed by their own kind, by leaders who are supposed to put us in better positions, but they end up putting us in worse positions than where we started. I look at some of the people that are in leadership and I think about all the people that they could have helped, but intimidation wouldn't let them. I think about all the people who could be homeowners right now, but people want to hold on to the secret sauce. I look at all the people who say they want to be in certain positions. Like I got a little cousin who say he want to be an editor. And the last time I talked to him, he was upset because he didn't edit my stuff right. Well, if you going to be an editor, you going to have to sacrifice. Anybody to know anything about media and editing and filming, sometimes it ain't going to always be the time frame that we want it to be. Same thing with any position that you put yourself in. You think you're going to get off at 6, somebody don't show up, now the supervisor is asking you, hey, can you stay to 7 or 8? Now you got to think about, okay, am I going to sacrifice these next 2 hours because I was ready to go at 6? But because this person didn't come in, am I willing to make the ultimate sacrifice by staying here and collecting this coin? And see, I'm going to tell you something. There are certain situations that have happened to our people in our community and in our family. And it only happened because of race. Because guess what? Race does matter. I don't care about how you look at it. It matters. And I know it matters because I've worked in corporate. I've worked in politics. I've worked in ministry. And I've worked in the nonprofit factor. And I see how they deal with us. I see how we deal with us. And then I see how they deal with them. And then I see how we get connected with them in order for us to get a bigger connection. See, they're not going to ultimately sacrifice nothing for us. Even with the reparations that they're talking about giving to us. They not about to give y'all millions of dollars in y'all hands. Is you crazy? If you think that they're going to sign off for you to get millions of dollars to blow, they already know what we going to do. And I say we because I'm a part of it. They're going to give reparations. They're working on it. And I'm going to tell you why they're working on it. Not just here within the city of Detroit, but they're working on it for this country. But they're not going to give it to individuals. Guess what they're going to give it to? Organizations. And from those organizations, they're going to dispense that money out based upon the programs that are provided. This is one of the reasons why I said last week and I said earlier this week when I do my Manifesting Monday. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. This past Monday, I talked about on Manifesting Monday. If you were doing what you were supposed to do, it will be a triple effect to what other people are supposed to do. When you love your children the right way, your children grow up to love other people the right way. Racism is not something that is born, you're born with it. It's something inherited. Children don't wake up and say, oh, I want to hate another person because of their skin. I want to hate another person because of their sexuality. I want to hate another person because of their religion. I want to hate another person because of their age. See, a lot of what our sex, a lot of what has discriminated us within our countries and within other countries has been taught. When I go into stores and I see the security is black, securing a building or a business for another culture or another ethnicity. And guess who that black man or black woman is protecting that ethnicity from? Our kind. I ain't never seen a Chinese security guard securing the Chinese store or beauty supply store. It's us. Securing us from us. I ain't never seen no white bouncers at the black bars unless they are securing us from us. They use us to protect us from us. And a lot of the wars and beefs that we have within our country, within our communities, are because they were created. A lot of your issues that you have with people that you say you love are embedded in you. And you ain't asking God, you know what, God, take this envy out of me. Take this jealousy out of me. Take this pride and this bad attitude out of me. God, I don't want to misplace or hinder what you're trying to do in my life because of something internal that's messing me up. And I'm going to tell you something too. on this amazing, beautiful Veterans Day. You got to be careful of how you live your life, because there are a lot of people that it will affect because of your crossfire. See, I said earlier that Black families are in war. There are a lot of families that are under attack. All of our grandmothers have died, our grandfathers, our uncles, our aunts. They have attacked families. They have attacked population control. And our families were the ultimate sacrifices. Thanksgiving will never be the same. Family outings will never be the same. Yeah, it'll be better. Yeah, you'll still find joy. Yeah, you'll still find happiness. But you not getting your grandma's sweet potato pie, that's going to always be in your mind. And see, because there are crossfires in situations, there are a lot of crossfires. And see, you gotta be mindful that children, innocent bystanders, people who ain't got nothing to do with the war that is happening. There are parents that go to war with each other, and the children are the innocent bystanders, and they get caught up in the crossfire of children. This is one of the reasons why when I talk and I teach parents about dealing with the other parent, you are going to have to learn to just put your pride, your ego, your issues with that particular person to the side in order to maintain the stability of that child. But see, when you got individuals that are immature, when you have individuals who don't really have nothing going on for themselves, when you have people that are more focused on their own ego and protecting their own pride, then the next generation, it's going to be hard to work with a person who has their own internal issues. This is why some people don't like you, because you know who you are. People that know who they are have issues with other people because they don't know who they are. You can't help me. You don't even know you. And so when you have people who go off into the military or get a part of these gangs and get a part of these organizations, because they don't know themselves, they get hoodwinked and they get bamboozled and they think this is the way it's supposed to be. Last year, and for the last 4 years, we've had a country that's been divided who claim to be saying the same things. How is this the America that is the United States of America? We are the divided states of America. We're going to continue to divide one another based upon our own beliefs. We always saying, don't judge me, but we steady judging. I mean, everywhere I go, I'm judged. Like, who y'all work for? 36th, 3rd Circuit? Who y'all work for? 46th District? Y'all some judges? Where your robe at? Where your gavel? I didn't know you was a judge and jury. You work for Jesus? Are you part of his 12 disciples? I'm trying to figure out, when did you become so concerned with what I got going on where you can judge me like you're better? This is why I look at certain situations and I look at the aftermath. Because see, people don't realize when they get out here and they spewing things and they saying things and they're doing things that it is going to be ramifications, repercussions. I'm sure the people who knew about the Flint water crisis, knowing that, okay, let's fix this. If we sacrifice them not having water for a little while so that they can get clean water later on. See, we're not paying attention that the things that we do today will have an aftermath of what we do tomorrow. This is why I am so focused on my brand, my business, building relationships that are conducive to my son later on in life, because I'm not always going to be here. You're not going to always be here. The blessings that my siblings have are not just because we sow such and much. A lot of our blessings that we have came from the sacrifices of our mother, Kelly Hubbard. And see, when you are a good parent, you sacrifice so that your child can be great. There were nights that I sacrificed, putting in extra work, extra assignments, staying up late, helping science fair projects, crying by the bedside, trying to figure out how ends gonna meet. But I went out there and I made it happen so that way my son can focus on what he needs to focus on. But see, when you take away and put down your own responsibilities, they end up becoming the responsibilities of your children. I don't want my son trying to figure out how we gonna pay rent or how we gonna get gas, because that's not his sacrifice. That's not something he should even be concerned with. Only thing that I made sure my son was concerned with was his football, his sports, his after school activities, and his classwork. Because that's the sacrifice that your children should be focused on. And as a woman and as a man, your sacrifices that you make are going to either hurt your family and your community, or it's going to help your family and your community. It's no in between. The sacrifices that you make today are going to help catapult your family to the next level, or it's not. See, if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking all about the ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice. Listen, make sure you follow me on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Zsa Zsa because you do. Listen, subscribe to all of my platforms and stay up to date on all the amazing things that we have coming up. Listen, I am super duper excited because one of my companies, Global Grassroots Agency, is looking for new business owners that are in need for marketing and commercials. This is what I do. I speak on behalf of businesses. I speak on behalf of brands. I rock brands. This is what I do as an influencer, as a leader, as a community leader, and as an individual who wants to build my community. See, there are sacrifices that you have to genuinely make if that's what you genuinely want to do. See, it's easy to say it, but it's a whole nother ball game to actually physically do it. Because at the end of the day, when the opponent waves their white flag, that was an indication of surrenderance. When we lift our hands and we praise God, that is our way of showing God our sense of surrenderance. See, some of us, we don't want to surrender because of our pride, because of our ego. There are some things and some battles that I intentionally chose to lose because I wanted to win the war. See, some of us, we want to battle. We want to have these little bitty battles, not knowing that a war is coming. And because a war is coming, you too tired from fighting in the battle that you can't really have an ultimate sacrifice to win the war. See, when I think about war, I think about poverty. I can't fight and party with you every weekend. That's the battle. Because I got to get ready for the war. I can't sit here and argue back and forth with you or with Tayshawn Daddy, because the war is for my son to make sure he don't ever go to prison. So fighting with you ain't going to help the real war. The real war is our son becoming grown and getting out here in these streets and being treated as if he is a foreigner in his own country, in his own land, within his own people, amongst his own kind. And see, some of us are so immature that you don't recognize the battle for the war. Yolanda Adams said, this battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. So if the battle ain't mine, why you ready to fight? Surrender. See, a lot of us don't want to surrender because of pride, because of ego. It says I lost. I'm losing. I'm a loser. Oh, they won over me. There are some people who think that they won over me, but I ultimately won. Every time I tell my story and I talk about my testimony and I talk about leaving from college and doing all the things that I've had to go and do and sacrifice. See, there were some people that I chose to lose the battle with because I knew I was going to win the war. Yeah, you can have that battle, boo. Yep, you won. Yep, you can have him, sis. Yep, you and them 6 kids. You won. You won the battle. I got to get ready for the war. Oh, you not my friend no more? Oh, you want to talk junk about me? Oh, you want to set me up? You know what? You won the battle, sis. Because I got to get ready for international media. It's going to be more people talking about me. So I had to get prepared by the people that I know and that I was closest to. See, there are certain ultimate sacrifices that God will prepare you for that you're not even knowing that you're getting ready to walk into. This is why I lift my hands in surrenderance, because I need God to strengthen me for the war. God gonna handle my battles. I gotta be equipped for the war. It's a war going on. You don't believe me? The Bible talks about the helmet, the breastplate of righteousness, the sword. There is a preparation that we need to have for the battles that we face every day, all day. This is why united our missions have to be, because we are all dealing with some of the same issues. Depression don't have no color. Anxiety don't have no color. Poverty don't have no real color. However, it is affecting one particular race, one particular color more than the others. So if it's affecting one particular race and ethnicity more than the other, what does that mean? That means that there's an ultimate sacrifice that people are making to make sure that we stay at the bottom. There are battles that they are allowing us to win and get a couple dollars on, but they know ultimately we don't even compare to the war. See, a lot of us, we want to fight one another and not fight the people that's out there. See, when I grew up, my daddy taught us one fight, y'all all fight. That's just the Joy Road to me. That's what my daddy taught us. So when we was walking them streets of Joy Road, coming from McFarland, coming from Drew, coming from McKenzie, if one of us fought, we all fought, because that was the thought process. One of us make $1 million, we all making $1 million. We don't leave nobody behind. But see, some of us, we move in such a sneaky, selfish way. We want to keep everything to ourselves. That's why when it comes to men who are in prison, they eat their food with their arm, because guess what? That same thought process is when they come out. Our families have been deprived from so many great things that when you get something, you hold on to it with a chokehold. We say we care about that all Black lives matter and that our Black women are queens and our Black men are kings, but are we treating each other with royalty? Every time I see people that I love, that I deal with, that I rock with, when I see Black women and Black men, I'm not turning my nose up to another beautiful Black woman, whether I think she is or not. I always leave a compliment with a compliment. Some of y'all are selfish. You operate off self. And how do you think our Black families have been able to maintain? The Black family is at war. Our grandparents and aunts and uncles are no longer here to guide us with the wisdom and the history of our families. And so now everybody just willy-nilly. Yeah, our kids is learning from Meg Thee Stallion. Our children are losing their lives at concerts. And we just sitting here with our hands in our lap talking about Jesus gonna take care of it. He's trying to take care of it through you, fool. And you sitting up here talking about, I'ma just pray it away. Faith without works is dead. So your prayer has no life in it if you don't move on it. Faith without works is dead. So you can believe all you want to, but if you don't make a sacrifice, if you don't pick up your hand, if you don't move your feet, guess what? That faith is dead. It's lifeless. That faith has nothing to hold on to if you're not working that faith. I am not where I am because I sat around praying and hoping that God was going to do some things. I prayed, I hoped, and I moved my feet. And God saw me move my feet. So guess what? He gave me a seat. Because I moved my feet, he gave me a seat. He saw that I was making the ultimate sacrifice. He saw I put the TV down and I stayed up to study and research to put the paperwork together. He saw, oh, these people was trying to set you up while God was trying to set you up and set you apart. And see, when you're set apart, when you're called, when you're anointed, when you have a gift, when you have a God-given talent, people will always try to discredit what you have sacrificed to become. As a single mother, can't no single soul discredit what I have done for my child. Not one. There's not one opinion that is greater than mine. Because as a mother, as a father, as a leader, we make certain sacrifices for the people that we love. And then when somebody come talking something that ain't nothing about nothing, I can't even listen to that. Yeah, I can't listen to your opinion. You didn't sacrifice to get me here. I can't listen to you. You didn't sacrifice. When a person has sacrificed. You know when a person has done something with blood, sweat, and tears, and you also know when somebody has been given something. That's why when I look at little rich Black kids and little kids that grew up to become wealthy adults, not off their own hard work, but off the hard work of their parents, I don't respect you. We ain't got nothing in common. I'm literally getting it from the ground up. You were given a hand up and a handout. And I can't be mad at that, but our intentions are different. When you've literally made ultimate sacrifices, you treat what you've built differently. Listen, it's your girl, Zsa Zsa. You tuning in to listening to, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I talked all about the ultimate sacrifice. Every day we have to train our minds and our hearts to be prepared for the battles and the wars that we face every day. Not just from other ethnicities, not just from our environment, not just from our community leaders, but from us as well. A lot of us are dealing with internal wars, mental wars. You're dealing with a war between love and hate, a war between pride and ego, a war between giving and taking. All of us are dealing with a war inside. And sometimes you're going to have to lift your hands and ask God out of surrenderance and say, I need you to help me because I can't do this on my own. I can't do this by myself. And so when you understand that you can't do certain things on your own and that you are going to have to be on a united mission, just like the military is, just like any other organizations are, when you understand that there is a united mission and when one win, we all win. When they went and got Osama bin Laden, they didn't just say, oh, the Blue SEAL team, they the ultimate winners. That they made that an American win. When there was a war in Afghan and Iran and all of that, and they were able to go in there and do what they had to go do, they didn't just go say, oh, these particular people are the winners. Guess what? That was an American win. So when you see people winning in your family, when you see your friends trying to get out here and win, that is an ultimate win for your family and friends. That's an ultimate win for your community. But when you don't think like that, guess what? You look at these people as if they are the enemy. As if these people are against you, not knowing that these people are for you. This is why you have to understand who you are. Because if you don't understand who you are, you'll always look at the people who look like you as an enemy. Because at the end of the day, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And because all skin folk ain't kinfolk, they will make you an ultimate sacrifice and put your stuff aside while you sitting here crying and they're flourishing. We got to detox the mindset and the spirit that we have when it comes to how we deal with one another. At the end of the day, our ancestors made the ultimate sacrifice by putting their lives on the line so that we, as African Americans, can live in a world that is not free. We live in a world that is not conducive for us to win. And if we do not look at this as a mission for the next decade, for the next decade, what I mean, the next 10 years, not just next year. See, a lot of people are focused on 2022, and that's the problem. You're not preparing your family for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years, but white people are. Chaldeans are. They have plans for 2050. Do you understand that? Do you understand what that means to hear the year 2050? People have already planned this world out for 30, 40, 50, 100 years, and they already know where your ethnicity and your family falls in this system. If they can keep us on the hamster wheel, guess what? We're the ultimate sacrifice for this country. They built it on our backs. They're continuously building it off of our backs and our ideas. And guess what else? They don't have to give us no money. And this is why we have to understand that united is the mission, and division, we're going to keep failing. We'll keep failing as a family. We'll keep failing as a community. And another thing is that in order for us to reap the benefit of our sacrifices, we have to have the tough conversations that are uncomfortable. As a woman, I go into a lot of projects, a lot of meetings, and I have to say some things that will make other men and some of them women uncomfortable. You know why? Because I have sacrificed so much to get here, and I'm not going to allow you to take it from me. Because, see, there are some people you can share an idea with, and boom, they out of here, and now they working that idea, and now you left in the dust. This is why I work the way I work, and I tell people all the time, you better get a non-disclosure agreement before you decide to share an idea with anybody. Because the mindset that people are living in, and I'm going to tell you something, it's going to get worse. You think you seen bad? They didn't took y'all unemployment. They didn't stop with the PPPs. People are not about to go to no job and work themselves to death for a couple pennies and dollars. And so now we're at a crossroad where now we got to figure out, what are we going to sacrifice to get to the life that we want to live? See, I'm willing to sacrifice it all, and I'm willing to put all the bets on me for what it is that God has shown me. He showed me with my own brain and my own two eyes what I can have. Because he showed me what I can have, I'm going to go get it. Now, don't get mad at me because I made the ultimate sacrifices to get where I need to be. Sometimes you're going to have to sit there and say, what am I going to have to sacrifice to get to the next level? I ain't going to be able to get my hair done every week. I got to put that money in my business. I ain't going to be able to get my nails done every week. I'm going to have to put that money into this wardrobe. I ain't going to be able to go and get this done all the time because I got to focus and sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice wins the battle in the war. It's not the person who's cheating. It's not the person who's cutting corners. It's not the person who thinking that, oh, I can do it today and not do it tomorrow, or I can do it today and not do it tomorrow. Those aren't the people who are going to win. It's the people who are training up themselves to win. Those are the people who are going to win when it comes to the ultimate sacrifice. Listen, I want you to have an amazing day. Enjoy your Thursday. I ran over my time. I love y'all. I hope y'all forgive me, but I love y'all so much because that's the ultimate sacrifice. When I love doing what I do, I want to talk to you. So listen, enjoy your day. What do I got coming up? Of course, again, I have my holiday bookings events. Event rental space. I have a space downtown Detroit. If you're looking to have a party, a holiday event, pop-up shop downtown. I have an event space on the west side of Detroit, on West McNichols on 6 Mile and Southfield Freeway. And then I also have another hall on the east side on Harper, right off of East 94, Fisher Freeway. So listen, if you are looking to have a holiday event, a pop-up shop, if you are looking to take your brand to the next level, or you say, hey, Zsa Zsa, I want to be on your show. I want to talk about my brand. I want to get on Yeah, I Said It. I want to get on Uncommon Conversations with Zsa Zsa. Guess what? Slide in my DMs. Make the sacrifice. Because either way, it's going to be a yes or a no, right now or not today. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to help each other, we either going to help each other or we're going to hate on each other. But you're going to have to decide what side you want to be on. Listen, enjoy the rest of your holiday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your beautiful, beautiful Veterans Day. And listen, get out here and smile at somebody. Get out here and see how you can barter and help somebody. Because you may not have money to pay somebody, but you got a skill and a talent. So let's make it happen. Listen, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Wash your hands, wear your mask, stay out of people's face, and make sure you get some sunlight, fresh air, and eat your fruits and vegetables, because that is the ultimate sacrifice for your body to take it to the next level. Listen, I love y'all and have an amazing day. And remember, you are the real sacrifice to your family every single day. And if you're not putting yourself first to protect you and what you're building, guess what? you are becoming a liability and not an asset. Listen, I love y'all. Have an amazing day. And until next week, y'all already know it's your girl, Zsa Zsa. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, what I'm going to do? Add more to it. And I know y'all heard me the first time. Peace.